Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So we're just going to really jump into this video. You don't need a man until you do. So let's take a listen.
To bring my TV, will fit it into my car. It was in a big box. It's a 55-inch. It could barely fit into this car. At first, this girl was helping me that worked at Best Buy where I got it from, but we couldn't get it in. And then she kind of left, and I said, I'm going to try and figure it out on my own. I'm sitting out here struggling to get this in my car. Men are walking back and forth. No one is trying to help me. It took an older man to come and see me struggling. He came out, he had a knife. He came out and helped me take the TV out of the box and put it in my back seat. And then he took the box, put it in his truck, and was going to go dump it elsewhere because there's no dumpster nearby. They don't make real men anymore. I'm sorry, I'm not all men, because there are good men out there, but it's such a rare thing. It took an older man to do that. Struggling to bring my TV, will fit it into my car.
Now, we heard this story, and we've heard stories like this. You know, you get these women, usually they're younger women, and they talk so much crap about men. You know how they feel about men. And until they get into a situation where man's problem solving comes really in handy, you struggle to get a TV in your car, ma'am. Like, you didn't think about the logistics of a 55-inch television fitting in your car, especially if you got a small car. You didn't think about maybe perhaps you need to take it, put it in the trunk, and let the back seat down. If your back seat does that, most cars do. Let your back seat down so that whatever you put in your trunk can actually extend into your car. That usually is the thing that helps you fit things in your car. When you are single, you really have to think about stuff like that before you go and get it. There were times when I had to go and get large pieces, bookcases and so forth. You got to go pick it up. Sometimes you can't get stuff delivered. I only have a smaller car. So I had to make sure that I could actually fit the thing in my car. And I had no expectation that even if I struggled with something, I had no expectation that some random man that didn't know me and didn't owe me anything would just come and help me. I really had no expectation of that. You make sure you can do it on your own, or you don't do it, especially as a single woman out here, because men don't owe. Men do not owe you random problem solving. Men do not owe you random help. Men do not owe you just random 4Ps, just whichever P you might need at that time. And it's tripped out how these women come to expect men to behave in a way in which the women don't inspire. The women don't inspire men to help or to see them as vulnerable, which is really the issue. Men don't see women as vulnerable. Why don't men see women as vulnerable? Because they talk so much crap. And they say that they don't need men, and that men are worthless, and that men don't hold any true value, and they can do everything on their own. And they don't really need men to, perform any particular duties for them. They think that because they're able to go out and get a job and make some money, that they don't need men. As if that was all that men were, until they get into situations where, gosh darn it, a man just comes right on in handy, doesn't he? Problems with their car, simple problem solving, like how do I get my big old TV that I probably don't need in my little bitty car and take it home, right? How do I do that? something's going on my car on the side of the road, it'd be nice if a man helped me. And then they get astonished when the men leave them to their devices. Because any other time he can't talk to her, any other time he can't approach her, right? So why would a man, any random man, just approach you to help you do anything? You got it, right, sis? You got it. See, this is where that rhetoric gets everybody, because even if you were a woman that did not subscribe to that thought pattern, that's what you're going to get, though. Because the women that do subscribe to that thought pattern were allowed to speak the loudest and speak the longest. And now the men are convinced that they are not necessary and that these women have got it handled. And even when men see that you clearly do not have it handled, the fact that so many women talk so much crap, they're happy to see you struggle. Go ahead and struggle. We'll see, can you figure it out? And of course, she didn't figure it out. It ultimately did take a man to come and help her. Now she wants to talk about they don't make real men anymore. Like, who don't make real men anymore? Single moms? Y'all, you mean y'all? You mean when y'all crap on a man's masculinity, call it toxic? When they're just being men? Right? So it's interesting. Ladies, these men, it's a new breed of man, and they don't owe you anything. You've gotten on social media and you have allowed the mask to fall completely off. And now they have no sense of urgency for you at all. Collectively, you can get an individual man, perhaps, but collectively, these men are not going. They're not going for it anymore. You let the mask drop too far, and you kept it off too long, and you paraded around in your heedlessness, never thinking that the day would come that you would need a man to do something for you in a situation like this. Because you can make excuses. Well, if something's going on with my car, of course I take it to a man, but I pay him. He's a mechanic. Fine. What happens when whatever's happening to your car happens suddenly and you don't have an opportunity to take it to the mechanic or the maintenance man? Right? Right? What happens when you need a man that you can't pay, that's not his profession, that he's not who you call when this goes wrong or when that goes wrong? You know what, man? You need a husband. You need that guy. Because even if there's a situation that he can't personally see to, he can still handle it for you, right? But you're strong and independent, and you don't need no man. And the men are just making you keep that in that energy. They're just making you have that energy. They're just making you stand on what you said. Ain't that what y'all like to say? I said what I said. They letting you say it then and let you stand in the consequence of that. Just a little PSA. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.